to Coach Rollie to come up with an outstanding game plan, and because of it, St. John's is no longer undefeated. Villanova plays an excellent game. As St. John's came into DuPont Pavilion at 9-0, Nova sends them home at 9-1. Villanova raced out to a 34-19 halftime edge, but then St. John's came storming back. They got close, but they could never get by the Cats, even after a 14-2 St. John's run. So the Wildcats go on to win it, the final 62-54. Good balance. Harold Jensen 16, Doug West 16, Kenny Wilson 12. Nova goes to 9.
The Wildcats, here they come. Senior Harold Jensen hit for 16 points. He was the difference down the stretch. Nice basket here for Harold. Villanova defeated Connecticut 67-58. It was Harold's last home game on the campus of Villanova. A little bit emotional as he goes out a winner tonight. Doug West added 23 points for victorious Villanova. Also tonight.
There's a super party animal. His name is Hugs McKenzie. A barbecue inside. A barbecue. And a cold Bud Light. A cold Bud Light. With some in a party frenzy. In a party frenzy. He's Buds McKenzie. Bud Light's original party animal. Go Buds, go! Go Buds, go! Go Buds, go!
Buds, you really cooking that.
And here's the play we were talking about, with Kenny Wilson finding Harold Jensen, and of course Jensen's last game at the Palestra. Nova built a big early lead, but the St. Joe's faithful wouldn't let down, and Bruiser Flint steals it from Mark Plansky here. Flies down court the other way. Dishes for Tyrone Thornton for the beautiful reverse. He had a game-high 26 points, got St. Joe's back in the game, but Villanova hung on to win, 88-87. In double. One final chance here. The basket counts. It is tied, but also a charging foul. So Mark Plansky goes to the line. He makes one. Nova by one. He misses the other. Here comes St. Joe's down one. They can win it, and you won't believe what happened. They come to the other end of the court. They will get a couple of chances to pull out a miracle win right here, but watch the ball roll out, and Nova wins 88-87.
As far as the St. Joe Villanova clash, I thought it was great. As I said, it's a shame one team has to lose. It was a tremendously played college basketball game. There were some outstanding plays, some outstanding shots.
3 in the Big Five. The Palestra a sellout. No matter what the record, St. Joe Villanova. It paid off tonight. The Cats had it by 15 with 11 to go, and it took this shot off the miss by Wilson, a shot by Jensen that tied it and sent it into overtime. In the second overtime, Bruiser Flint is going to go coast to coast with the score 73-73 at the first. It was 81-79, 81-81, second overtime. St. Joe down by 1. Flint comes in. Seconds to go. No. Can Cannon rebound? No. No. Game's over. 88-87. Nova wins. 15-11 are the Hawks, and 15-9 for Nova. Isn't that something else, or is it the other way around? First half.
You see a 2-for-1 ratio. And Demetrius is pretty close to the 1-to-1 ratio with those stats.
No changes for Pitt, none for Villanova. Yes, no, there is none for Villanova. Same 10 come back, and that's Wilson from 3. And Villanova's back up on top, 16-15.
Never a dull moment in college basketball with the new three-point shot. Whether you like it or not, it does add excitement to the game.
Villanova now matching up all the way around. Lane around Maker with that little left-handed hook shot. Nice job, Jerome Lane, the sophomore from Akron.
That's quickness for you. 6'6" up against the 6'10" Wyatt Maker, but he was able to really quick him inside with the left-handed shot.
Now on the blocks, Plansky to a wide-open West from 3. Missed it badly, and Smith had the easy rebound put in the transition game. And Goodson decided that Gore was too well covered, so he waits till Gore gets open in the corner. The Panthers go into their pattern attack with a 1-point lead at 10:45.
That's the importance of the floor, General. A good decision by Goodson that time not to give it up.
3-pointer by Goodson, his second of the night, and it's 20-16.
He's playing an extremely good floor game, shooting the ball well from the perimeter, making good decisions from the point in the absence of Curtis Aiken.
Goodson has half the Panther output, 10 of the 20.
Really improved his outside shooting, Bill.
Jensen just threw that ball up there. Gore with the rebound. Nice pass to Lane.
Nice pass.
Lane with a great pass to Goodson, but it took him too far under, so he wisely circles it back out.
Once again, that's poise. He didn't throw up a difficult shot under the basket, set up, for the high percentage shot.
There's the other left-handed by Lane, but this time Plansky comes across to clear. Maker did a better job defensively of causing Lane to miss that shot. Now on the baseline, a reach-in foul by Pitt, their 15th foul. Let's see, that's a matter of debate. Once you walk on, I guess, are you always a walk-on? He has a scholarship now is the point I'm trying to make.
I think you could say he was a walk-on.
Somebody asked Mike Godfrey, the football coach, and here comes Jensen from three-point range. No. Over Lane's head, West has it easily. West missed the putback, and Smith with a rebound. Mike Godfrey said, no, I don't think I'll get him back as a quarterback. Now, I put him on loan to Paul Evans, and Paul has retained the rights. Smith missing, Plansky clearing. Here comes Villanova in the fast break. Wilson with one man back. Goes around that man and cans the shot, and it's 20-18. Nice move. Kenny Wilson put down by 4.
That was a quick shot by Goodson that time. The only one that he's taken so far, and the result wasn't the same because he rushed it.
Jensen thought about trying to set up a jumper there, but Kavanaugh gets there, so Jensen said, let's restart.
Villanova really wants to work this clock, keep the score down, look for their good high percentage perimeter shot, try to get a couple of second efforts inside. Nothing in low so far for the Cats.
Jensen from three-point range, and it's 22-21. Villanova down by a
defensive player behind him, and he was about 5 feet from the basket in the low post, and Evans said, hey, Jerome, take that one to the goal and draw a foul or score, will you?
I think Jerome's thinking about the last one he had against Baker, which he missed.
Might be. Paul Evans says, take it in there anyways.
Of course, Baker's not there right now. It's Tom Grice. Meantime, offensively, Villanova, great pass inside, but Plansky can't get it to go. Lane launches the pass break on his own. Goodson from three-point range. Lane with a rebound. Jerome Lane, the nation's leading rebounder, showing you why. Pitt with its biggest margin, it's 30 to
different players assuming scoring responsibilities. Kavanaugh, a pleasant surprise for Pittsburgh.
Has 4 points, and the Panthers lead by 8 at 3:15.
Averages only 1.1 points per game, so he's already well above that, shooting the ball well from the perimeter.
Good penetrating move by West. Are they going to give him the basket? No basket. It's a floor foul. It should be team foul number 7 for Pitt. Scoreboard hasn't changed that yet. And West missing. West. To Connolly Brown.
Good catch by Brown to get possession and get it back out.
2.5 minutes remaining.
It really takes discipline to back the ball out. Villanova would like to go in there and take the first good one. They're trying to take some time off the clock as well.
Wyatt Maker from the baseline for his first field goal. And Villanova draws it within 6. It's 35-29.
Excellent job by Villanova. We mentioned cutting it under 10. They've done just that with good patient offense.
Charles Smith. Smith has turned it up a notch in this game offensively. He just said, this is my kind of game.
They're playing behind him. He wants the ball. And there's certainly a mismatch there. And Smith has done a good job between the high and low posts.
Three-pointer by Jensen is good, and it's 37-32. For Harold Jensen now, that's point number 6, both on three-pointers.
College, more worthwhile experience, not only on the court, but off the court. And I try and set goals for myself in the classroom, attaining a certain grade point average or doing well on exams. And I look at that just as I would a difficult game.
As a member of the Villanova Wildcats, Harold Jensen has had that special experience of playing on a national champion. When recalling the game, it takes on added significance in that Jensen was perfect that night shooting and proved to be the spark Villanova needed to carry them past Georgetown. It's been nearly 2 years now since that game, but it's still very fresh in Harold Jensen's mind.
I think we had a very comfortable feeling that night. We were loose. We were certainly a big underdog. Yet we had played Georgetown close twice that year. So we were quietly confident, I guess you could say. And things that I remember are Jake Nevin, who was our trainer here for such a long time. Coach Mass's halftime talk and things like that. Throwing the ball in the last 2 seconds of the game to Dwayne McClain and just listening to him scream and realizing what we had done and accomplished were some of the things that come back to mind.
The thrill of winning a national championship speaks for itself. But now, in retrospect, Harold Jensen realizes the game was a turning point.
I think it's made me a more confident person, a more confident player. I felt when I came here that I could contribute, and I hadn't contributed quite that much up until then. And it made me feel good. It made me feel a part of Villanova, a part of the basketball program, and I think it's helped me considerably.
For Jensen, here he is.
Harold Jensen's play over the last year and a half has shown he does indeed have the confidence to take Villanova's big shots. But Jensen is also well aware of the fact that someday the roar of the crowd is going to be nothing but a memory.
The air is going to come out. That's a friend of mine used to tell me the air is going to come out of the ball sooner or later, and you're going to have to put it down and move on to something else. And I think by coming to this university, it's given me the opportunity to broaden myself as far as academically, socially. And I think that when I do have to put the ball down, from what I've learned here, it's certainly going to help me to go on and hopefully become successful in something else.
He's the team's leading scorer, averaging better than 18 points a game over his last 9 games, but they'll need his leadership in this ball game against the Providence pressure. Villanova committed 24 turnovers in the first game that Providence won handily. They need to limit those turnovers and do a good job with the ball and get the high percentage shots.
Of course, I touched on Billy Donovan. Billy has more three-point field goals than 6 teams in this conference. Write-ups right after we pause for these words from your local station.
Forward, number 31. 6'7" junior from Wakefield, Mass., Mark Lansky. For Providence, at forward, number 15, 6'7" senior from Kitchener, Ontario, David Kipfer. For the Wildcats, at forward, number 42, 6'6" sophomore from Altoona, Pennsylvania, Doug West. Providence at forward, number 23, 6'4" senior from Germantown, Pennsylvania, Ernie Pop Lewis. For the Wildcats at center, number 33, 7'2" freshman from Huntington, New York, Tom Grice. For the Friars at center, number 50, 6'11" senior from Central Falls, Rhode Island, Yazik Duda. For the Wildcats at guard, number 3, 5'9" sophomore from Jersey City, New Jersey, Kenny Wilson. For the Friars at guard, number 12, 6'4" junior from Michigan City, Indiana, Delray Brooks. For the Wildcats at guard, number 32, 6'4" senior from Trumbull, Connecticut, Harold Jensen. For the Friars at guard, number 34, 6'1" senior from Rockville Center, Long Island, Billy Donovan. The coach of the Wildcats, Rollie Massimino. Head coach of the Friars, Rick Pitino.
By Providence, and right away you can expect a little shot, and Kipfer rolls it in over Grice. David Kipfer, one of the seniors, acknowledged before the game tonight, and again they all caught pressure by the Friars.
You have to respect Providence's outside shooting. They may go down low.
Basket counts, and a blocking foul on Yazik Duda.
It's good to attack them. If Villanova has the advantage, they'll do that. If not, they'll pull it out and set up.
Lansky, an 80% free throw shooter with a three-point play, conventional style. The Wildcats lead it 3-2 as Donovan penetrates, dishes off to Lewis. And we've seen that play 30 or 40 times this year.
Ernie Pop Lewis, 1 for 8 from the field against Georgetown. He's off and running in this one.
Good effort by Yazik Duda. He's pumped tonight. He, along with Pop Lewis and Kipfer and Donovan, all saluted before the game as graduating seniors.
They know they can expend themselves in the middle. If they don't, Marty Conlon will come in, and Abdul Shamsuddin, they'll fill in the middle.
Grice a little bit too hard, and due to the rebound, the outlet to Donovan. Cross court it comes to Lewis. Donovan wanted to shoot, gives it off. Here's Kipfer, now Delray Brooks. Inside it goes to Duda. Duda and Grice with a battle of the Giants in the middle. Kipfer and Lansky, good battle there. Kipfer wins the battle that time.
Villanova is either playing a man-to-man defense out, or it might be a triangle and 2. Need to get a better look at it next time, trying to play the guards tough. Providence is really looking inside early.
7-3. Providence in front. They've scored 5 unanswered points. Doug West around Delray Brooks. And a foul is going to be called on by Brooks, and the crowd looking three-point every time Providence comes down.
Difficult to rebound against a team that takes this many long-range jump shots, too, Howard. That rebound really has a tendency to kick out.
Jensen with room. Harold Jensen quiets the crowd with a jumper. And it's a 14-9, 3-on-2 Villanova. Looks left to west, right to the basket. Rebound Lewis, outlet Donovan, and here come the Friars. Billy
Whitaker, the big 6'9" forward.
Doug West inside to Plansky on the wall. Basket goes. Nice alley-oop pass by Doug West.
No weak side help.
10-point lead. For
concerned about getting back defensively, and that really hurt us.
12-point lead. Kenny Wilson going to turn Snedeker around, and a double dribble is called on Kenny Wilson. Deflected. Wilson 1-on-3 and smartly holds it up.
Very smartly. There's the good decision. Shows a lot of poise.
Blocked. Traveling violation. Harold Jensen moved his pivot foot. Kenny Wilson with room.
Drills it.
And they go 3-on-2. Plansky pulls up. Gets the roll.
According to Madison Square Garden in New York City, where this afternoon the Big East quarterfinals are being held, and coming up, the Villanova Wildcats are set to take on the Syracuse Orangemen. I'm Mike Roman, along with Bill. Points on the board.
Jerome Lane, who always is in the middle of things, an excellent passer there to steal. He goes wire to wire with a flip.
With the left hand. Showing us something, Jerome. And again, you're going to see Lane here rebounding the miss. And Brooklyn heads up.
One thing they did is I thought they ran the floor much better in the second half than they did the first. Here, Brooklyn able to finish. Kavanaugh, sensational, I thought. Woodson finding people all evening, really running this club. And Brooklyn, who you gave.
Well, I voted along with you. Yeah, he was a good choice.
Though. And here's the dish. Look at Jerome. He enjoys that as much as sending one down.
And again, the bench for Pittsburgh, a real surprise. Our fans in Syracuse may say, hey, that's not a deep team. They were a deep team today. Cooper off the bench, Brooklyn with the big second half, Kavanaugh. They just really all filled in.
And they ran the floor well. Like you see that finish. Anytime there's a mistake, a steal or a rebound, they were off to the races, and that one hurt.
Yeah, it did hurt P.J. Carlesimo, but again, his club played very well. Seton Hall right now hoping to get themselves an NIT bid with their 15 wins, and Pittsburgh, of course, getting what they wanted here today. One under their belt. They had never won a game in the Big East. They're going to take on the Syracuse Orangemen. These two teams have played twice this year. You and I did the game down at the Spectrum on ESPN on a Monday night, and that was a dandy. We're going to take a look at some highlights from both, and Villanova was able to stay in both games, Bill.
Again, Villanova is such a good tempo team that when they run their type of game, they usually win. This year, Rollie got away from it a little in this Syracuse game. They went up and down a little bit with him,
yes,
and they got ahead by 15.
Yep.
And he sat there saying, gee, I hate to pull the string now. And I thought Syracuse showed me how tough they are. They came right back and went after Villanova and played great man-to-man.
Okay, we're taking a look at highlights from the first meeting, and in this ball game, we're going to see Mark Plansky, again an underrated player this year in the Big East, coming up with the rebound and the basket. And the Villanova Wildcats have themselves leading this game with about 3 minutes to go. There's Gary Massey hitting down low, and at halftime, Villanova actually led. 33-27 was the score at the half.
That may have been their best game, I thought, even though they lost, that I happened to see. Here to roll going their way, and things not going Jimmy Boeheim's way.
Likely nicely there on the trailer from Greg Monroe. We're going to see Greg Monroe hit a three-pointer, and that was what really started the run going. I think it was 53-51 going over with about 3 minutes left. And you're going to see Monroe finding the line and burying it, and that started a 17-point run for the Syracuse Orangemen. The towels were up and waving. Coleman coming up with the dunk here on the break. The freshman.
Sure, taking care of him.
Even Sherman Douglas getting in the act here.
Villanova's showing how tough they are. They really have some nice players. They just seem to be missing that one spot. They haven't gotten the center to come around. And Rollie, not happy with the year, but I think they played well at times.
Okay, 70-58 was the final from that first one, a 12-point game. The second game that we were talking about earlier, this was, we felt, one of the best games we had seen all year down at the Spectrum.
Well, again, defensively, Villanova can be so difficult to get the easy shot. They mix it up, they match, and I think this was the start of the three-point shot. Harold Jensen taking a lot of them. Early in the year, they didn't take many. Dougie West this time. I thought Rollie decided, hey, let's go with it. Kenny Wilson. And this was the type of game that Rollie now is saying, hey, let's keep going. We got this thing to this point where we're in control, and all of a sudden Plansky, a little offensive rebound inside.
That was a 55-40 lead, a 15-point Villanova lead, but then it turned around. Syracuse, which I thought had played well all game, kept playing well.
And Rolando up and at him. Yeah, they just showed me some things here. Turning baseline. Derek Coleman showing you he can do more than jam it.
And we're going to see Sherman Douglas here off the miss. Douglas comes up with a runner. That made it 72-71. And you knew as you were in the building that Villanova was out again.
And Cycli, this particular game, handled the glass adroitly, kicked and keyed their offense. And Jimmy Boeheim with a smile. And that's the night that Harold was not feeling good. In and out of that game with the flu.
That's right, and the final score, 96-82 a game. Again, that did not play as close as that score might have indicated. Just a big run by Syracuse in the last 10 minutes.
I think he's played well. He's been asked to do a lot. He's opened up his game with the three-point shooting. All of a sudden, as a senior, they've had so much success. A lot of people expected more from him, but I think he's had a good year.
Okay, how about the three-point shot for Harold Jensen? Again, a little hesitant, it seemed early, but taking it more lately.
I think he's confident. I think Rollie said, hey, if you've got it, take it. So that helps your confidence.
I'll be curious when the Big East, all Big East teams come out here the next couple of days, and they have three teams usually, and, you know, a lot of players you hear people talk about, but this guy's got to have a spot on one of those teams somewhere, and that's Mark Plansky. He's really had a steady year.
Well, every team has a worker. He's the kind of a guy, you don't expect him to do some things, all of a sudden he does them. We'll get the offensive rebound in traffic with bigger people. He's a fine open shooter. I think he's a good defensive player. So he has all the attributes more than what you'd consider a role player. He's a well-rounded player.
Yep, shooting better than 50% from the field, averaging about 13 a game, the leading rebounder, as Bill pointed out in the club. And it's the type of player that they always try to recruit over him, and then every year, Mark Plansky.
He's there.
He's there.
The Cats of Villanova University, number 31, Mark Plansky. For the Orangemen of Syracuse University, number 25, Harold Trish. Half forward for the Wildcats, number 42, Doug West. For the Orangemen, number 44, Derek Coleman. Number 33, Tom Grease. For Syracuse, number 4, Ronnie Cycli. At the guards, for the Wildcats, number 3, Kenny Wilson. For the Orangemen, number 11, Greg Monroe. And for Villanova, at guard number 32, Harold Jensen. And for the Orangemen, number 20, Sherman Douglas. And the coach of the Orangemen, Jim Boeheim. And the coach of Villanova, Rollie Massimino. The officials.
Quarterfinal game number 2 about to come at you from Madison Square Garden. And we'll be back for the opening tip after these local messages. Tournament play, Villanova Wildcats 8-6. Cycli and Grice go up. Syracuse will get first crack at it. Here comes Greg Monroe. Douglas outside and Trish. Villanova coming out man-to-man.
Looks like they're back in. Yep, they're in the man. Let's see if it isn't a match, Mike.
I just watched Wilson. He followed Douglas all the way through and along the baseline. Trish coming up short, and there's Grice.
Now, Grice had a good first half down in Philly, as you recall, on the offensive end. Sort of surprised Cycli with some of his post moves. Man-to-man, huh?
Yeah. Monroe matched up on Jensen. Lansky a step on Coleman, now kicks it back out. Harold for three.
I thought he was. It looked like the feet on the line.
Yes, too.
Look at West now pointing. They want to get set in their three-quarter pressure. That's what
double on Monroe.
Douglas and stuff. He went right over the top. Don't waste any time.
And then Douglas penetrates, slides on the baseline, but kept his dribble alive. Rollie is up and at him already in the sidelines, jumping with the hands in the air, calling for the defense. Cycly hits over the top and gets a foul from Drux. There. Wilson needs a little help, and Plansky gives it to him. Kenny Wilson calls out the play. Syracuse staying man.
The kids at Syracuse, according to the coaches, like that man. There's Jimmy afraid if the big guy's getting in foul trouble, you may see some 2-3 if that happens. Good pick.
The pull-up.
Rice with a roadblock. Fake by Howard Trish. Just got an advantage with it.
Syracuse out quickly by 5.
Down screen by Maker. Good reaction there, huh, by Ronnie Cycling?
Yeah. Lansky draws the foul on Coleman. The Villanova Wildcats. Kenny Wilson has the other one. And again, Mark Plansky, the 6'7" junior. 59% shooting from the field this year. 50% from three-point. 81 at the line and the leading rebounder. Hey,
Well, more than he won.
there's not much more to do.
Villanova started out a little zone. Jensen was in zone. Now they wave it off and go man. Laker doing a good job keeping Cycly out.
It's interesting the matchup, too. Jensen on Trish. Trish front rims it. Wilson the rebound, and West is on Monroe. It's about the third time up that he's been Wilson, the penetration, hesitation move, won't get out for him, but Villanova will keep the basketball. That'll get you the field goal percentage, Crown, if you get enough of those over the course of the season.
That was pretty.
Wyatt Maker will try, in and out. Trish has it slopped away. It's going to be another rebound. Kenny Wilson gets a lot of rebounds.
A little late.
Monroe, nice play by Coleman to keep it alive. Maker skips through.
Plansky with the assist. Great look. They sure do. But they 15 for 34, I believe, against Georgetown. That certainly didn't help up there.
Here's Steele again, the quick hands of Syracuse. There it is again. Monroe this time. Just quicker right now, Bill.
They can guard. I mean, they can go out and play you. 2-3 again.
Derek Coleman short with the leaner. Lansky. Workman-like tough rebound. Thompson trying to deny Jensen. 7-point Syracuse lead.
They need composure, need some easy shots if they can. Don't rush things.
They get Doug West involved. He's got 3 now. Down to 7. 6 in the shot clock. Trish, runner, hits.
Tough.
Howard Trish has had a very strong first half. Doug West, 1 second left, too late.
Converting that long pass.
Wilson thought about 3. Couple of threes here, and the Wildcats right back in this one.
I think Rollie had settled for a deuce.
Wilson penetrates, puts it up.
Oh, got it. He was in deep and got up high.
Douglas
Timeout.
saw the double team develop and quickly called the time. 7:49 left to go with this, and the sellout crowd here at Madison Square Garden starting to get back in it. It's a 7-point Syracuse lead. We'll be back after these local messages. Head to Wilson on the break. Kenny Wilson got it, and a foul.
You know, Wilson is getting away with this. Great heady play. The reason he gets away with it, he leans in. Here's the help by Massey. And down the end, this could be called an offensive foul. It's happened twice. Watch the lean in. Now, he initiates the contact with that strong move. But I don't know too many officials that would call it against him. So a heady play by Kenny Wilson.
10 second half points for Wilson. It's a 4-point game in a lot of time.
Off his shoulder.
Villanova ball. Plansky, Massey, got it! Douglas the other way, spins,
hits! Goodness, what a goal! I mean, he likes to take over, Mike.
Under 7 now to go, it's 59-55. Jensen comes closer.
Using the bounce. Only the shooters can do it.
West to steal from behind on Monroe, but he stepped on the sideline.
Well, Harold Jensen, because of that shooting ability, they can run it out on him and roll into it, huh?
I guess he is. Yes! Missed the dunk!
That's it for Coleman, too.
But a foul is called. It'll go on Coleman, and that is 5, as Bill just said.
Cycli ended up on the floor. I believe it was called. Yeah, they got the right one. This is one that Ronnie Cycli will like that back. It was too easy for him. And right here, Kenny Wilson giving it up early. And the only thing bad for Villanova was West came up short, but you can see Coleman almost giving the foul.
7 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 block shots for Derek Coleman, but that will be the final line for him today. And Doug West, only 5 points in the game for Doug West. He came in averaging 16.
Villanova expending a lot of energy. Defensively, it's a struggle. They're not fronting well. I think Syracuse has to keep going to Cycli. He won't miss that type of shot all game. A much smaller Villanova team. Pounded in.
We're tied at 59. And the Cats have another chance to get the lead. Rollie up jumping on the sidelines, calling the play.
Massey trying to get control there.
Kenny Wilson. Massey the follow. And the Villanova Wildcats go up by 1. The first lead for Villanova since 2-0. Douglas, good spin. Oh!
They got a block, so it's going to be 3 points. Those couple of offensive rebounds hurt his smaller club.
Plansky for 3, won't go. Douglas the rebound. Spins out of the pack, 3-on-2 break. Finds Monroe, got the layup.
Rollie calling time.
And a good one.
Syracuse showing a lot of part.
3:45 left to play in the game. And Syracuse now up Madison Square Garden, packed all afternoon. It'll be packed again this evening. There you see the turnovers, 12 for Syracuse, 15 for Villanova. Pretty much a wash on the points. Big trips coming up here, though, for the Wildcats. You can't let any more of this slip away as time starts to become a major factor.
Nice hedge by Ronnie Cycli.
Wilson, a runner, and a blocking foul is going to go on Derek Brown. You have to talk that one in there a little bit.
Yeah, he was leaning. A little help.
Cycli in traffic comes down with the rebound, and a foul is called on Rollie Massimino. The lead is 6, 2 possessions in college basketball.
2-3. Wilson will bounce against this as well.
Wilson, there's the penetration.
Brower just went up and under him. They're looking for goaltending too.
Kenny Wilson instead will get 2, makes the first. 3:08 to play.
2 counter punches here.
Villanova back with the pressure. It caused Syracuse some problems. Douglas throws it away.
Great pass by Douglas.
West, good fake, and draws another foul from Brower.
Sure was. He throws Brower. Plansky on the other side. What Rollie's done with the pressure, he's taken out the inside game of Syracuse a little bit. They're playing the whole 94 feet.
Here's Monroe. Breaks the 10-second line.
They're staying with the trap.
Near steal, Massey picked off the floor by Plansky. Up ahead, Massey couldn't control the pass.
He's a little bit high. Massey unable to gather it in.
Trish back to Brower. Over to Monroe. Brower again over the 10-second line. See if Syracuse uses the clock at all here. Up by a deuce, 2:29 to play.
Jimmy getting them organized, waving Sherman Douglas out, man-to-man Villanova.
68-66, Syracuse by 2.
Ball Cycling's number. Need a goal. He was free, too.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Douglas wants to take it himself. Stripped by Kenny Wilson, got it back. Won't go down. Rebound out of bounds. Going over ball. A chance to tie with 2 minutes to go in the game.
They had Cycling and they missed the opportunity. Of course, at the end, Douglas had to take it.
Plansky almost ran by the pass. Jensen lets Cycling go by. Good look for Plansky, but it won't get out for him. Brower the rebound.
Got caught underneath. Mark couldn't get the proper spin. Once again, size wins out in this game anyhow.
Rollie and Jim Boeheim both up coaching on the sideline.
Pressure man-to-man. Good trap out of it. Looked like Massey was sneaking up.
Whoa. Almost lost it in the backcourt. Brower wants some help. Finds Monroe.
Trish wanted Brower to go.
On the cut, Douglas.
Wilson pushed.
And Kenny.
28 left.
See if Villanova. No, they're going to call time. Nope. Rollie knows what he wants him to do. Near steal. Plansky got it back. Throws up a 3. Short with it. Monroe the rebound. Ahead to Douglas. Grabbed immediately by Kenny Wilson. Wilson who sits down with 16 points. 14 of those coming in the second half.
Syracuse may have gotten fat as we did here in the telecast. You know, thinking it was going to be easy.
14 now for Douglas.
Rollie bounced them back up.
Harold Jensen penetrates. Cycling might have got a piece of that. West tries to tip it. It'll be blue ball with 4 seconds to play.
Ready here today.
Jensen misses the 3 from the corner. Brower the rebound, and that is going to do it. A sparkling second half comeback by the Villanova Wildcats, but it comes up short. And Syracuse and Pittsburgh are the first semifinal matchup in the Big East tournament. That a game, of course, to be held tomorrow. Our Plymouth player of the game for today's broadcast, we're going to go with the senior Howard Trish of Syracuse.
Excellent game.